Hey loves, welcome back to another video. As you guys can see today, I'm just gonna have a quick video on how to make some OG dressing. Now this dressing is made from scratch. It's not Jiffy, but it is a cornbread dressing. So just ride along with me and make this dressing. And if you guys was up for the challenge, then I challenge you to make this dressing for the holidays. Now, this recipe was given to me by my mom. It was one of the last things she taught me how to make before she passed away. I was pregnant with my first son, and I was having all type of cravings, and it was getting close to the holidays. So I was craving some dressing, and I was like, "Oh, Mom, can you make me some?" And she was like, "Well, I can teach you how to make it yourself." And I guess, it's a blessing in disguise. I'm now able to make it for my family, so I definitely appreciate it. But we can go ahead and jump right into the video. As you guys can see, I chopped up some bell peppers and I'm chopping some onions. Now, I am not a professional. Please do not come for me about how I'm chopping these vegetables. This was just a quick video on just to show you guys how I make my dressing. This was just a little sample bowl. Nothing too big, nothing major, because I'm definitely going to make more for Thanksgiving. But I just wanted to show you guys how I make my dressing. Now, I do use Jiffy sometimes, but this time around, I went ahead and did everything from scratch. No stuffing, no Jiffy mix. And as you guys can see right here, I'm just trying to chop up all the vegetables just into bite-sized little pieces, and we're gonna cook these down, so don't worry about the size being too big. But if you want, you can always chop them finely. If you want, you can make them bigger. If you want, you can always change the vegetables that goes in there if you want. But I am going to tell you that this mixture right here is definitely what get the house smelling like holidays. Once you start cooking that onion and celery and bell pepper together, you know it's the holidays. But as you guys can see, I put a chicken cube in there and 3 cups of water. And we're going to let that boil down and add our seasoning to it. Meanwhile, you can boil a couple of eggs because we are going to put the eggs inside of the dressing as well. I know that may not be normal for some people, but it's tradition in my family. So while that's boiling, you go ahead and season your basically is chicken broth. I just made my chicken broth from scratch instead of buying the canned chicken broth. And once that's all coming together, you add those seasonings in there, and I'm telling you guys, it smells like heaven in there. But once you get all of that mixed up together, you're gonna go ahead and add those chopped veggies that you chopped up earlier. We're gonna add that into the mixture, and we're gonna let that cook until basically to your liking, till you like the tenderness of the onions and the bell peppers and the celery, depending on how soft you like them. You can always cook it longer, you can always cook it shorter, just depending on how you feel. Okay, y'all, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and make this cornbread. Now, don't get me wrong, Jiffy is just as good. It's just the same thing as cornmeal, but we like to think that we're making it easier on ourselves to go and buy Jiffy mix, but we definitely can use cornmeal and get the same effect. So what we're gonna do is add a 1/2 cup of cornmeal. And I just followed the directions that was on the back of the package, so it's not really that hard. You add a half a cup of cornmeal, then we're gonna add a half a cup of flour, and then you gotta add your egg and your milk and your sugar and your oil, just like you would do with a box of Jiffy mix. I don't think there's any step that you have to skip when making Jiffy mix, except for maybe adding baking powder to get your rise. That's about it. They add the baking powder in there for you, so you don't have to do that part. But if you got a little extra time and you want to make your own cornbread, that's all you need is the same ingredients, and then just add a little couple of teaspoons of baking powder, and there you go. Okay, so now we're gonna get ready to put this cornbread in the oven. What I like to do is put a little oil in a pan, or in this case the bowl, and put it in the oven for about 2 minutes and let it heat up a little bit. I do like to do that for whatever reason. It does help with the cornbread. So put that in there, bake it for about 25-30 minutes until your cornbread is nice and golden. And you see, guys, it rises beautifully. Looks so good, like so good. So then we're just gonna go ahead and crumble all this good looking cornbread up. This is like the heart warming but bittersweet part for me, because it's like, oh my gosh, all that good cornbread. It looks so good. And I was raised off cornbread. My grandma used to tell me cornbread make your booty big, so I used to just sit and eat cornbread, y'all, and it worked, because obviously my booty is on my back right now. Anyway, we're gonna take those boiled eggs that we boiled and chop those up. Now you could chop these up a lot finer than what I did. Like I said, you guys, this was just the purpose for the video, so I wasn't really like shaking my booty while I was making this, because you know you gotta shake your booty to make it good. Just to let y'all know, in case you didn't know, you gotta shake that booty while you in that kitchen. Anyway, so here we go. Now you're gonna add your mixture, your celery, your onions, and your chicken broth to the cornbread, and you want to saturate it. Make sure it's all nice mixed together, and add as much liquid as you need to get it to be saturated. And then we're gonna add our sage and our poultry season, and we season that to taste, and we'll be back to put it back in the oven. So I do like to add some cream of chicken to it just to give it a little bit extra flavor, a little bit extra moistness and thickness to it. Now this is homemade cream of chicken. I'll put up a video on how I made this, y'all. It's pretty easy, quick and easy. It's better than the can that you go and buy from the store. You can make it. So I put that video up for you guys to check that out as well. And like I say, we're going to add our sage in there. Now for me, I would say start off with about maybe 2 tablespoons of each and then add as you go. For me, how I know I look at the color of my dressing and also the taste is what indicate for me if it needs more. You can all do little by little. You can always add a little bit more, but you can't take away. So I would say just add little by little, season to taste. And once you get that, you see how cornbread is like a light golden brown. Once you get that dull brownish color, I would say your dressing is ready to go in the oven. Alright, once you have everything mixed together, bake that for another 35 to 40 minutes until it's golden brown on top and nice and thick. Alright, and I am glad that you all stayed with me through this video. I hope you learned something. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully you can make this for the holidays and your family love it. Bye.